When we think about nature exploration, our minds might go to places that are really far away, like pristine, vast wildernesses and really large national parks. Or even city parks like the Greenbelt, where we have 2,800 acres of space to explore. But what happens when we reach the very end of our trail? Is there anything beyond the Greenbelt or beyond the park to explore? Well, let's take a quick trip into the neighborhood and explore the nature beyond the trail. All we have to do as we're walking through our neighborhood is start to pay attention to those areas that generally fall out of our view, like this hillside just on the other side of somebody's fence that goes onto the street, and we'll start to see really, really cool bits of nature. Like there's the moss growing on the old block of concrete. There are new plants, new grasses. There are roots from the trees and nearby plants coming through the soil. Lots of stones and pieces of wood and all different things making up the bottom of this hillside. And as we look up this hillside, we'll start to see what looks like an urban wildlife friend superhighway, which is how they get from one place to the next. And I start to think about who runs up here. Squirrels? Are they muskrats? Raccoons? Possums? It could be one or all of them. And we look a little closer, we can start to see new little seedlings of trees. We even see some poison ivy vines growing. We can follow them and see the new buds of this broken stump. All of the new growth of spring. Amazing. I know everyone pretty much knows what poison ivy looks like and how it feels when you're itchy, but look at the white berries that are the fruits of the poison ivy. We don't often get such a clear view of them, but these are actually really important fruits for our native bird and migrating bird populations, so yay for native plants. Some of the best places that I like to hunt for nature in my neighborhood are abandoned lots, because you're gonna find all different kinds of things, some weird things, maybe some gross things, but from the safety of this side of the fence, we can observe all we want. And what we see here is a pile of trees that somebody cut down, probably clearing this lot, and I see lots of poison ivy growing on there. I even see some beech tree branches. I see some amazing fungus as they're starting to decompose these trunks. And what I also see that I know you can see under there are all of these amazing little dwellings that are probably little homes and habitats for lots of different animals and insects. So again, I'm wondering who lives there? And I see that the fence also becomes a habitat for some plants. We have some invasive plant species growing up this here. We even see some trees fight for their lives and come right through the fence. You'll also notice, if you see the NYC Parks leaf insignia, that even some of the little green spaces in the middle of the street are parts of Parks property. So this is actually a green street. And some of these are planted, some of them are naturally occurring. But either way, this is still nature in your neighborhood that you can observe while you're waiting for the bus. And that's pretty cool. And sometimes we can catch a glimpse of those who came before us, checking out the nature in their neighborhood. You'll encounter both native plant species and decorative, ornamental, planted landscaping plants on your trip through your neighborhood, and all of them are valuable for our urban wildlife friends to find shelter, to protect themselves and their young as they're growing. And we also will encounter along the fences invasive plant species like bamboo as well as native plant species like dandelions and wild onions. And something it makes me think is the fact that oftentimes, since these spaces are super inhospitable because there's so much concrete and lots of salt from the road and lots of exhaust fumes, that it's not the best place for some plants to grow. So we're gonna find the hardiest, most diehard plants that really, really wanna live in these areas. Let's not forget to take a moment to stop and appreciate the beauty of wildflowers that we'll find on our walk in our neighborhood. Find some native red dead nettle, dandelions, and more. Let's not forget all of the street trees. Not every neighborhood has lots of trees, but a neighborhood like this has one in front of almost every house. These trees on the street are also cared for by the Parks Department. These are your NYC street trees. So come out, get to know yours. Take a look at its bark, take a look at its branches, watch its buds bloom and its flowers blossom, and see what happens throughout all the seasons. We are surrounded by nature, even in our neighborhood. But when you're ready to go just a little bit farther, the Greenbelt is right there.